What up, everyone? Happy 2025 to everyone. All right, so as you guys know, Shytoshi Kusama, the leader of the Shib army, has been speaking to the Shib army in episodes inside of the metaverse. Now, I covered the first one. If you didn't hear the first one, go ahead, stop this video, go to it, listen to it, then come back over here. What this video is going to do, it's going to cover episodes 2 and 3. This happened on Tuesday and I believe on Thursday. Okay, today is Friday, so I'm behind. I don't have access to the metaverse. Unfortunately, it is PC and I have Apple right now. It is what it is. So, um, without any further ado, we're going to go to Shytoshi Kusama's um, Twitter account, his X account. And one thing I'm going to tell you about these episodes, the first episode 2, I'm going to watch it on Mazrael's YouTube because the quality is better. And the third episode, I'm gonna introduce you to a new channel called Shib_IO, who uploaded the third episode. Mazro still hasn't done that. So it is what it is. All right, Shytoshi Kusama, follow, of course. This is the leader, Shib core team, distinctly different from Shib team. This is it. This is what I'm talking about. Meme Mania and the 36 Chambers of Tech, the Prince of Memes. So he's been speaking to people in the metaverse. One of my favorite covers, this 1 hour ago. Yes. And actually, I made a shirt of this cover, and the somebody sold this cover for 1,000 bone. There's a lot of value in this ecosystem. And lastly, we'll just touch on this, which is a partner, or basically a client for Shiba Inu using the treat token. All right, cool. So first episode that I'm gonna talk about is episode 2. Here it is. All right. And this is from Shib dot underscore IO. But we're not gonna watch it here. Oh, this thing, I see it's lagging a little. So I hope I'm able to get through it because sometimes, yeah. All right, cool. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually catch it right here on Mazrael's channel. Okay, so without any further ado, and then I'm gonna try to go on live later on tonight, Friday, my people. Okay, so I'll answer any questions that you guys might have and actually present some questions that maybe you might not have thought about. Because keep in mind, this is the creation of the first social network digital state called the Shiba state. This is a country in formation. Basically, they're gearing towards a census mechanism. All right, cool. Let's go ahead. Too much blah blah.
Ladies and gentlemen, foes and fans, friends and fudders, welcome once again to Meme Mania and the 36 Chambers of Tech. I am your host, Shytoshi Kusama, and it's a pleasure for me to be here today, of course, because of divine providence to God. Now, today, this wonderful Tuesday, we're going to talk about treat, bone, leash, and our beloved Shib, how exactly they work, and why they're designed this way. So let's get started. A question I get all the time when I pitch is, bro, why do you have 4 tokens? Like, I don't understand. Don't you just need like 1 token, dude? Like, bro, you don't need 4 tokens. This makes no sense. I don't understand. And I say, bro, but it does. I mean, like, think about it. When you look at the United States government, arguably, very arguably, one of the best structures ever designed, if it was set up properly and working the way it was designed and not overhauled because of a variety of reasons I don't want to get into, it would work great. It's basically designed around a 3-part system. Each of these parts works in tandem with checks and balances to make sure that each branch has autonomy, but at the same time has checks and balances, can never overtake the entire system, unless of course you were able to overtake the entire system. But yeah, that's where blockchain comes in. Let's recap. There's the legislative branch, the executive branch, the judicial branch, and these 3 branches work together. So if you were designing a new world, a new type of state, a new digital network state, how would you utilize a similar system? Especially when you wouldn't want any one token or any one thing to be a single point of failure, including myself, which is why this whole system has to be handed over. The foundation is for you to build. Now, in my opinion, and I can only assume this is the thinking that Ryoshi had when he designed this, but maybe not. But again, I'm just working with what I was given and the job that I was given. I believe Shib represents community. It is our largest holding with trillions of tokens. And the community will decide community things. That's how it should be. Of course, you'll need committees and things like that to filter different questions or requests from the community. But overall, the community decides. Then you have Leash. Now, Leash becomes this judicial branch. They are the judges. They also deal with exclusivity. That means that sometimes leash holders might get things before everyone else. They might find out things before everyone else. They might get access before everyone else. They are the exclusive bunch. But we give them a little responsibility for that exclusivity, which would mean that they'll have to do things like help solve problems. In other words, let's say something bad was to happen, God forbid, inside like the metaverse, like someone gets cursed out or something, somebody's harassing someone, these type of things happen. You know all the scammers, right? And the person who is going through that problem should be able to bring their issue to the court, quote unquote, and the judicial branch can decide yes or no, bad or good, this is the result, this is what happens, right? That makes sense. And in our system, the same thing works except on chain, and the leash holders are the decision makers. Technically, since we are an army, the Shib army, they would also be our military. But I won't go too much into our military operations as it pertains to liquidity and finding liquidity and doing things like vampire attacks. That's for another moment's discussion. Then you would need some sort of executive branch where things are executed properly and quickly. And that's done with Bone. Obviously, if it runs our blockchain, our L2 blockchain with over 500 million transactions, good job, Cal, then the ability to execute quickly and cheaply is extremely important. And that is where Bone and the governance for all of this executionary and also technological questions come into play. What should we do? How do we upgrade? All these different questions. Somebody's got to answer all that stuff when there is no leader. And then the final token is Treat. Now, I'm personally extremely excited about Treat because it's the last one of the four, not including the stablecoin, which is stable and just kind of allows people to quickly switch when the time is right and the shift takes place between bull and bear. So, Treat represents this secret branch of government you will find in some places. I'm not going to name any places, but that is innovation. Corporations usually lead innovation. Too often their interests are put ahead of the community, of the common person. But ideally, they would also have their own branch where innovative things can take place, where marketing is decided, ethical marketing, not like I'm going to ram down your throat that you can smoke cigarettes and are good for you like they did in the 60s. Yeah, no, not that. I'm talking about real marketing where I can promote your product fairly, I can get paid fairly, etc., etc. And of course, when I speak about innovation, it's about innovative pieces of technology like AI, new systems or new protocols that may come up. How do we decide about that? What do we invest in to take this project to the next level? Do we put all our funds into AI? Do we invest in creating a certain type of AI? Do we invest in certain places to get adoption? Where would those decisions take place? And do we have the budget to be able to pay to onboard new people, new communities, new systems? Okay, Treat handles all of this. Now, zoom out and take a look and see that this system is actually pretty darn genius, if I do say so myself, and to make sure that it was written in stone well over a year ago. I mean, a full year ago, we announced our sovereignty and laid all of this out in the Shib paper, over 100 pages. I don't know what more you can ask for from a decentralized community than to have this type of governance structure. Governance is one of the key pillars of a nation state. You have to be able to govern yourself. You have to be able to govern the entire community because honestly, I'm going to tell you right now, most of the community's not going to vote. They're not going to vote on things. They're too busy working 2, 3 jobs to, fight off inflation like everyone else in the world, including myself, for much of my life. So I get it. We are building for the small community of Shibisons, as we like to call them, that will make the decisions for the larger millions of tourists. Now, look, let me explain how powerful this is exactly so you understand. When a country figures out its GDP, there are various ways to calculate it. But overall, it's a way to see basically how successful your country is. And there's various parts to GDP. There's GDP, and then there's GDP per capita. Now, I'm not going to bore you with all the calculations involved, but I'm going to give you a basic overview. For GDP, it is calculated as all of the transactional funds that take place within a currency that runs a nation. Okay, so the GDP of the United States is well into the trillions because that's how much movement takes place with the United States dollar. Now, when you look at the GDP of Shib, you can calculate it pretty simply because every day Shib does $1 billion plus in transactional volume, and that creates wealth for someone. Not me, I don't get paid off the transactional volume. Not you, mainly the exchanges. Hi, and trust me, I bit my tongue with the word that I had in my mind after hi, but I'll just say hi. Hi. Now, all of that transactional volume can be calculated. You'd say something like 365 or so billion dollars if you estimate $1 billion per day, which of course Shib does more than that because some days we do 7 or 8, some days we do 1. And just for the record, all you other memes out there, time out, bro. You cannot calculate GDP because you do not have a citizenship system. So all this idea that, oh, if Facebook had this many, it would be this nation GDP, it would be ranked here. They don't have a citizenship either. They have membership, and there's a difference. You have to have all the requirements to consider yourself a nation state. And I mean legally, but of course we're just a meme, so let's say memely, which is not a word, but I just made it one, I guess. So again, calculating that GDP, we estimate somewhere around 30-ish, 32, 33, somewhere around Singapore as GDP. But if you calculate GDP per capita, meaning how many people actually retain citizenship, which we don't know yet because we haven't had our first citizenship drive, but we will soon, we estimate that we are ranked. Want to guess? Take a moment. Go ahead and guess. Don't run any calculations here. Just guess what number we are for GDP per capita in the world as a nation state. Take a guess. I'll wait. Shib. Yeah, that's right. Number one. Number one by far. And you think this is too complicated? You think this is just a meme? You think this is a joke? This is not a joke. This is the future of tech. And I'm done. See you next episode.
All right, cool. So as you guys saw, that was episode 2. There was a lot there. There was a lot there. Like I said, I'm gonna cover a lot of that during the live, my people. So go ahead and hit that sub, hit that like to help me with the algorithm. Of course, bell it up so you could be notified when I drop new content and when I go live. All right. He covered branches of government, how leash holders will be the judicial branch, covered vampire attacks, which we already did when Shiba Swap actually dropped, if you guys recall. Treat as represents a secret branch. Anyways, I'm the GDP, how Shib's number one, all that stuff. I'm gonna cover all that. So if you want more of that, go ahead and follow that. All right, cool. This is the other channel I was talking about, Shib underscore IO. They have a lot of alpha that they also drop. Okay, so go ahead and follow them, subscribe to them, and bell it up because some of their stuff is time sensitive and urgent. All right, without any further ado, we're going to get into the third episode because I told you we're behind, my people. Today is Friday, and this dropped. The first one dropped on Tuesday. There was no episode on Wednesday, which is kind of ironic because it is 36 chambers. I mean, how you gonna have no episode on Wednesday if it's 36 chambers? You representing Wu Tang? I mean, Wu Tang Wednesday. Anyways, that's a whole different sidebar. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right. So this is episode 3, Shytoshi Kusama, the world premiere of Meme Mania and the 36 Chambers. Shy speaks. Here it goes, my people.
Ladies and gentlemen, foes and fans, friends and fudders, welcome back to Meme Mania and the 36 Chambers of Tech. And yes, that was a meme about Wu-Tang Clan, because our Wolf-Tang Clan ain't nothing to f with. I had to, And why would it be so important for us to discuss these 36 Chambers of Tech? Now, for this particular episode, I'm not going to go into one particular piece of tech. Instead, I'm going to give a basic overview and an explanation on why it's important that it exists. So, in the last episode, I talked about the nation-state concept and how the tokens work together through governance and utility. Now, that's fantastic. But a real nation-state would have an operating system. Now, think about it. The United States, France, Russia, everyone kind of has their own operating system. They have a declaration and they have some sort of system that the citizens of that nation use. And usually, except for what I've seen, UPI and a few other really great pieces of tech, there really isn't one coherent system. There's this system, there's that one, there's this one, there's this one. And of course, that's because of innovation. Should be. But can you imagine if some sort of nation state actually had its own operating system and everyone used the same operating system, the same identity structure? Yes, you have citizenship. Everybody has the same citizenship number or national number. I get that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how that could be integrated into every part of your life so it's not separated. Think about it for a second. What if your identity was on chain and decentralized? You had your keys. What if your finances were decentralized and you had your keys? What if it was encrypted so you didn't have to worry that, there was a hack and all your data is now on the dark web? Or, no, there's a hack and your genetic data is on the dark web. You've got to be kidding me. In this day and age, with the ability for anyone who has a quantum computer to hack military-grade encryption, you think you don't need FHE? You're wrong, buddy. Imagine that you had the ability to get some sort of credential from an authority and hold it in the same system. So it's like, can you go get a transcript? Wait a minute, I got to go write my university. It'll take a couple days, and somebody has to sit at a table and they'll type it up and send it over through email. You got to upload that to your blah, 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 blah. So ancient when you really think about it, right? We're in 2025 and we're still doing things. Really, bro? Really, bro? Probably not. Now imagine if you had all of these pieces of tech interwoven into everything else that I've mentioned. On blockchain, you can quickly buy, sell tokens, Bitcoin, ETH, Bone, of course, Leash, Shib, Tree, etc. What if it was all tied into a social system where you could communicate to your friends very easily? What if you could advertise very easily? What if you could create your business with a click? And not just your business, but your EIN number, your bank account number, blah, blah, blah. In a second, you have a full financial layer under this entire system ready to go. What if all of these pieces of tech were interwoven and put on your favorite blockchain, even if it's not Shibarium? I don't have any problems with that, bro. It's fine. You want to put this on? Cardano. I'm sorry. I was going to say Cardano, but I had to start laughing. You understand now what we have done, the accomplishment that we have made, and that we have created. So in the future episodes of Tech Thursdays, we'll go into detail on all the ones that I've mentioned, and all the ones that I haven't mentioned. And we'll see how, when they are interconnected, and again, this modular system allows for your business to take, I don't need everything. I just need a marketplace. I need the ability to communicate with influencers. I want those influencers to get paid. Obviously I need blockchain. and I need a place to swap tokens, cheap swap, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And you can now create your own state inside of our nations.
Sheesh.
This is the immense power of Shib's 36 chambers. I thank you for listening today. I hope that you now see and understand what we have done. And I hope that you take this podcast and the others that will follow, you take it to the next level. You tell people that Shib is serious and tell them to use it. It works great. That's the beauty of what we've built. We haven't built everything from scratch. We found some things that are open source. We forked a few protocols, but we have combined them in a way that no one else has. And let me explain why that is and why it's important. Because when you go to other protocols, you will find things that are a little sus, just a little.
Solana.
Instead, you have the foundational system ready to go, and now you can build whatever you want. You know, that's one thing I want to mention about things being sus. One of the problems that we have in this crypto world, this industry that we so love, is that there isn't much honor. There's a lot of people who will rug you in a heartbeat and then throw up the middle finger at you live. Hey, I took your money. I don't give a. Wow, really, bro? That's how? No, that's not fair. And what we're going to do and what we've built is one more piece of tech in there that's really great, and that's the karma system and the reputation system, which allows for individuals who become citizens and even those who just remain tourists but have an account to gain or lose karma and reputation. This way, when you get to this wonderful nation that we have and you begin to peruse what is there, you know who you're dealing with. Should I buy this token if the guy who made it has a 0 score because he's rugged everyone 5 times before? Probably not. You might. Not saying NFA, DYOR. I'm just saying probably not. This guy who's built 5 different protocols, they've all been successful, they're all running great, and they're moving well, is releasing something new. Should you be interested? Probably. I don't know. Maybe. Yet, I get faded when I talk about trees. You guys are comical. See you next week. It's been a pleasure.
Fire. That's fire right there. All right, my people. That is essentially both episodes that I missed. So that was episode 2 and 3. So we've done episode 1, did episode 2 and 3 right now. We definitely are gonna do episode 4 when it drops. We are behind because, like I said, I'm not in the metaverse. But regardless, ooh, I hope that screen shared on the second one. Ah, my life, my life. All right, my people. With that said, Crypto Marxist, aka Bone Army, just came at you. I hope that second one came out because I just saw that it says something about screen share. This thing's been tripping, and I hope it didn't ruin that. But regardless, if you are into the Shiba Inu ecosystem, go ahead and follow official sources. Like I said, Shytoshi Kusama stuff's right there. You know what to do on my channel. If you want more, blah, right there. And of course, like I like to say, I'm Bone Army, you're Bone Army. We are the Bone Army, and I'm out. Deuces, my people.